Goeiedag julle. Ek is Leonardo Pieterse hier in Australië. 'n Ou boertjie in Australië. En ek het nou maar besluit ek sal hierdie video maak want 'n mens kry vrae. Jy weet, hoekom het jy die keuse gemaak wat jy gemaak het? En die ding vir my nou is ek weet nie of ek dit moet verder doen in Afrikaans en of ek dit verder moet doen in Engels nie. Ek weet nie waar gaan dit die beste wees nie. Maar anyway, here goes. The decision, it's a difficult decision to make. It's not an easy decision, and I'll tell you this. There's a few main reasons why we made the decision what we did. To immigrate to Australia. Firstly, as we were in the farming industry in South Africa, and I was part of the Farm Watch. I was every now and then you get a call to go out on fighting fires and pretty bad incidents on farms and where it's real serious, and you don't want to, every time you get that call over the radio, 1-2 o'clock in the morning, your heart just starts thumping and you get all these thoughts just going through your head. What you're going to expect when you get to that scenery, and then you just you make a decision to leave your your family, your wife and your children all at home while you going out on all these incidents, and it starts to get to you, and you got to go with your firearm, and you're on the radio with other farmers, and you're coordinating how you're going to handle the scenario, and you don't know if you're going to get shot, or you don't know if you're going to shoot someone. You expect the worst, and you're ready for that, and it wasn't good for us. You never get used to it. Anyway, so that was the one decision. The other decision is that you build on a legacy that you want to give to your children one day, and we just decided that we were ready to stick it through in South Africa. Come hell or high water, we would have stayed there, and even maybe I had to make a decision to move to Botswana. That was one of our options. Never to move out of Africa, Southern Africa. But then we come to the realization that our kids most probably would have go overseas. When they finish school, when they attend university or whatever, they must probably get an opportunity to start a new life overseas, and then they would, as parents, we would stay behind, because it most probably wouldn't be possible for us to just pack up and go, if that was the case, and we made the decision that as a family we would do that if an opportunity arises to do it, and we would rather go through the process of leaving our parents behind than our children have to leave their parents behind. So that was the other option, the other decision that changed our minds, and another thing for me is that if you earn 20 or 40 or even 100,000 rand a month in South Africa, and you put it away for investment opportunities, or so you're still investing in South Africa. Comparing to worldwide economy, if you compare that to the dollar, American dollar, the US dollar, it's nothing. It's nothing. And if you don't take your investment out of the country and have part of your portfolio, dollars or euros or whatever, to keep you in balance with the world economy. And I just made the decision that, um, to earn dollars, it's Australian dollars, and it's 12 times more than the South African rand. And I, for me, I just decided, that the rand is just getting weaker and weaker and weaker. So I'm just getting poorer, poorer, and poorer. And we at one stage, we just, we had a lot of debt and to try and keep on farming and to keep the business going, and we were basically living from our hand to our mouth, and it just didn't make sense anymore. And again, so if we had the decision, and it's possible for us, we would have made that decision again. And yeah, that's for us. My one on one side of my family, on my mother's side, um, I think there's only two of the grandchildren that's still, or the children and the grandchildren that's still in South Africa. The rest is all gone. New Zealand, Australia, Belgium, all over the world, and it's a sad story. It's a whole generation of our family that is out of South Africa, basically. And yeah, it's never a easy decision to make. And you don't know if you're gonna, how you're gonna adapt, because it's not easy, that's for sure. But and sleeping at night on a farm, locking all your doors, security lights on, electric fences are on, make sure the cameras are going, um, and if the dogs start barking at night every time you're up there with your gun in your hand and with a spotlight, and it's we we don't need to live like that. I mean, you have the right to feel safe. You have the right, and in South Africa, I never thought of it. I never thought of having the right to be safe, to feel safe, because you grew up in this. You grow up in this environment that you just gotta adapt all the time, and the thing is you get used to it. You don't see that you know you actually have the right to feel safe and to live safe and to give a safe environment to your family to live in. And yeah, it's a mind changer, that's for sure. But and then back to the decision is where you want, where, if you're not staying in South Africa, where are you gonna go to? And that was a big decision. I had the privilege of farming, on contract farming in America for 3 years going. And America is a great country. It's really a great country. There's a lot of work opportunity. Farm life is real good in America, and the people are friendly people. It's and it's if you look at camping, South Africans likes camping, and they like the outdoors and all that. And for America, they basically the same. But for me, I didn't want to go to America. I don't like the cold. I don't like cold weather. Working in snow and all that rain, and I couldn't adapt. I worked in South Dakota on a farm there, and the farm life is it's great, and working with all that machinery and new technology, and just to see on the scale that they work is incredible. But the weather, I that I can't. And I like I don't get along with Americans that great. I feel that they I don't like it. And then I have a lot of family in New Zealand, but I've got a cousin that says that he doesn't want to go to New Zealand because he doesn't want to go stay in an island. I actually agree with him. And it gets cold in New Zealand. I was in New Zealand as well, and it's raining, and it's, I'm from the northwest side of in South Africa, close to Rustenburg, and I wouldn't even make it in the Cape with all that weather, in the Cape. So Auckland and New Zealand, no, I don't fit there. Other opportunities was Canada, but same thing. Canada gets too cold. Great country, camping and all that, great. Fishing, you name it, but hunting, but no, too cold. And that was the main reason we decided to Australia, because the humor, Australian humor is a lot. It's a lot the same as South African humor, and the culture, Australian culture is is also, it's the people, is really close. It's very close, a resemblance to South African. The outdoor activities, the camping, the hunting, the fishing, the outdoor sport is, it's all the same as South Africa, and I we made the decision that if we have to do it, we want to, because the changeover, the how you gotta adapt is so big. You know that you gotta make it easier for you to go through that process, and we thought that, you know um, coming to Australia, coming to a culture that's sort of the same as the South African culture, and their ways of living and all that is close the same to South Africans. It'll make our uh, change over to adapt to the country a lot easier. And we were lucky. We ended up in Australia, on a farm. I'm working on a farm again. Basically, the scenario, the environment, the temperature, the climate, is a paste and copy that we had in South Africa. Um, our farm, 60 kilometers from town in South Africa, where we sit on a farm here, 16 kilometers from town here in Australia, and so the for the kids that goes to school, the scenario is basically the same, and we were lucky in that regard, that we could we could do it, and that's why we did it. It's That's why we made the decision, and I mean, I don't I don't I don't want to, um, you know change everyone's mind to come to Australia, or go to America, or whatever, because it's not easy. It's not an easy process. It's really not easy, and it's a mindset that you gotta change your mind, and set your mind to it, and stick it through, because there's hard times. Stick it through, but um, um, and basically you gotta know why you do it, and that was the decisions why I actually did it. Is 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 yeah, you gotta make a decision of why you want to do it, and you gotta stick to it, and in hard times you gotta remember yourself. That is the decision I made, and that's why I'm doing it. I hope that, as for people going through this process, or thinking of doing it, I know there's a lot of speak of going to America and the asylum and all that, and the refugee status and stuff, but um, there's other opportunities as well, that fits your portfolio maybe better. But I hope this, helps of just giving an idea of what we went through, and I can speak for my cousins. They all on the farm, and I'll end with this experience, that, my uncle, that I worked for, um, in South Africa on a farm, while all my cousins were in school. He and that was in the 1990s, said that, trouble is coming to South Africa, and maybe he must make a decision of sell everything and get out and move to Australia, buy a farm in Australia, and start a new legacy in Australia. And at that stage I thought, why why would you do that? You got so much, and it's great on the farm. And my cousins got all this, they got all the opportunity to come to Australia, and they can just have the farm life that they have. But anyway, so in about, I think about 20 years after that decision, that he actually wanted to do it, and he got too old, and they sell the farm, and they got out of farm, the farming business. And both my cousins, all three of them actually, one in New Zealand, the other two in Australia, they moved on. So where's that legacy now? That's gone. And you don't always have control over your legacy, but that was just an example for me of how things change. And you never know what's coming. You never know what your future is like. But in a way, you can plan and control where you're going to. And I just want to end with that experience that I had, and that was also part of my decision that I made to immigrate to Australia. Next time I'll make a a video of the process of immigrating. It's like a toothache, never gonna go away. But anyway, it's worthwhile. It's worthwhile in the end. But I'll make a video on that next time. We'll see how much you guys enjoy this, and if it's of any help for anyone, to go through this process that we've been going through and still going through. We're not finished. Anyway, good luck out there for you guys that's going through this process of making a decision.